Reef DVM's coming at you with a discussion of weed-free gardening, especially in our squash area, which is what I'm going to use for an example. People come by our places all the time, they drive by our big gardens, and they go, gosh, you don't hardly have any weeds in it. Well, this is why. I'm going to use this old silo planter that we use often as kind of an example to show what we do even in our main garden. I basically hoe the weeds. I like to kill them all. And as you can see, this particular area did have mulch in it in the past. So it's got dirt in it and it's got mulch, maybe a few rocks and so forth. And then I put a good dirt down that I can use. And in this case, I'm just using a manure-based dirt by Schultz's that I buy. And that gives me just kind of a good starting layer. And then I spread that out. And at this point, you've got, weeds sitting in the dirt below it. You've got, the remnant wood chips from previous, people on it and so forth. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a nice layer of dirt, bring up the planter as tall as I can. Like I said, it's an old silo base, so it works great for me. And then once I get that done, I'm going to make sure I've got the proper nutrition for the plants I'm going to plant. And I'm actually going to put squash in here. So gypsum is important to me to keep that soil in the sulfur category and keep that clay below here open so the roots can get in it. And I'm gonna put some 10-10-10 on here too. And then what really works for us to control these weeds and let the plants really go is the type of fabric you choose. I like the material, and the best way I can describe it is the stuff that they use to retain soil on like road construction. It's a woven fabric, and it's much more of a plasticky material. It comes in these great big rolls. I personally don't like that landscaper fabric. That doesn't work for me. This is what works best for me, and I only change this out about every 2 or 3 years. It works that well for us, and that's why I'm showing this video here on this planter, because the ones in my garden have been in there for several years in areas, and I can't show you the beginning because I didn't film it. So this particular silo last year had, like I said, an old mulch system in it, and I'm redoing it to this method because I like it better. We just take landscaping staples and we stick it down around the edge. And to keep, that more decorative, I've got a whole bunch of rocks around the property. So the kids will put rocks all the way around the edge, and then there's a seam down the middle. They'll put rocks in that. That seam down the middle with rocks also has an advantage for me because I'm actually going to do this planter in 2 different ways. I'm going to do one side by seed. I'm going to do one side by plant, just for my own sake because I want to see which one does better. As far as making the holes, I like to make about a nice 4-inch hole, and I just use a propane torch. I hit the button on the torch and I very quickly make a circle that I want. It melts this a woven plastic material, and I get a nice solid strong hole and a good planting surface. Now obviously I'll get a few weeds maybe potentially up these holes, but again, most of this area will stay great. This woven fabric, if water sits on it long enough, obviously water goes through it, but with the holes in it, the water goes right to the holes, which helps too. And then I'm going to put squash plants in here. Everybody likes different ones: butternut, buttercup, Mother Hubbard, whatever you want. I'm planting 4 plants in a hole. It's the very beginning of June here. I'm going to put them in with a little bit of dirt, make sure they're packed in tight, and then I make sure they're level with dirt. On the plant side, I may add a few sticks just to keep them supported because it's an extremely windy day. Once I got those done, on the other side, I'm punching the exact same holes. I'm going to put seeds in and try to kind of show the difference as to how it grows. What's interesting to me is that the seed plants eventually catch up and do just as good as the planted plants, but we want to try it. So here my daughter is walking on the top of this and just putting the seeds down, and I'm just putting a little layer of the dirt on top. It's again the same dirt I put in, it's just a potting soil with a manure base to it, and it works really good. Obviously you should probably compact that down a little. She'll step on it when she's done and just compact it in so the seeds are really packed in against the roots. So here we are in July, and you can see the one side's a little taller because again those were plants, and that's the side closest to the building there. and it's working wonderful. There's very few weeds in here. If they are, they're right at the plant base, and I don't even notice them. Here we are in August. It's growing great. I mean, as you can see, it's huge. It's come over the top of the silo, and it looks wonderful. And then we are at the beginning of September here. It's starting to, kind of die off. There are a few weeds at the bottom growing up in the gravel. And then here we are, middle of September, and we're going to pick out here. We got frost coming in. I don't want to expose the squash to the frost. So we're going to pick all the produce right now, and then we're going to clean it up and show you what we're left with, because we're going to use it again next year and maybe even the year after. So we're going around looking through this mess of vines, picking all the squash, and then when we're done, I just go in and kind of cut the squash off, and I'm left with this kind of mess, and I just sweep it up, clean it up, and this is what it looks like now for winter. This is how I'm going to leave it, folks. Next spring, I'll dig out a little bit of dirt, put some fertilizer in those holes, and I'll grow another, cart full of these wonderful squash. And then the year after, I'll make the decision if I do it again or if I take it off and kind of revitalize the dirt and put it back on again. This is how we do weed-free gardening around here, folks, and it works absolutely fantastic. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and keep putting out videos like this.